YouTube, welcome to the top 16 of a very special day. This is the Meta Championship Series $1,000 tournament, not a qualifier. The 1K Big Buckaroos are up today with the new Meta, Azmina, Fiendsmith, all the crazy new top tierness. A lot of mad lads, they told me specifically, Decade, I can't share my combos and deck list publicly. I'm saving it for today's event. If you've topped multiple YCSs, if you've won a YCS, you're auto-invited into today's event. If you otherwise qualified through the Meta Weeklies, that was another way to get into today's event. Now, are you ready for the big day? Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
As we start this top 16, I do want to state how appreciative I am for any of you keeping the video on as long as you can. That greatly supports us in the algorithm. And with that said, begin. Spectre versus Mathmech. How do we use our hand traps in this prevalent matchup? I do believe going into today's event that Snake Eye Fiendsmith is the sole best deck, the #1. We're going to use Ash Blossom to negate original sinful spoils. Is it time to bring back Gamma? What do you all think? Because this meta is quite crazy. We're going to follow up with 1-for-1 discarded monster to summon a Snake Eye Ash into an Effect Veiler negate. Double hand trap was enough to stop Mathmech, but is it? We have an additional normal summon. We can normal summon the Ash. Now, had we played Lacrima in the main deck, I don't know why anyone would think that card was actually coming. Come on now. It would actually be full Fiendsmith combo. So with that said, maybe it's actually healthy for the game to not have Lacrima, right? Does it seem okay to double hand trap, normal summon Ash Blossom, and then full combo because of Lacrima? I don't know. Now I think about it, it's kind of a bit toxic. We're going to send Deception and Sinful Spoils to summon our Diablo Star 2, put into our back row the original Sinful, as we normal summon our Poplar, searching for Divine Temple. That was the first Ash check. Of course, you should not be ashing that. As the field spell sets up the Snake Eye Diablo Star, as we now make a Link Rebo, triggering the Poplar to equip an Ash Blossom into the back row. As we now, Deception of Sinful Spoils. Do we Ash this effect to search our deck for the fusion spell? Yes, we do. But then we did not use our negate on the original Sinful. Now, here's the scenario with the Azmina engine. If you don't negate it, you don't ash it, what's going to happen is they're going to summon a Sylvia. And then the Sylvia has an Omni Negate built in to protect your original Sinful. So while you're correct in saying, what the heck, Ash should be used on original Sinful instead, you can't though, because we're going to then negate the Ash. So that's the problem there. We're going to Snake Eye Diablo Star, reborn itself in the back row. We're going to send our 2 back row cards to summon a Snake Eye Doom Dragon to then push the Link Rebo into the back row, and then somehow this is 8,000 damage in the field. What the heck? Double Diablo Star plus the newly added Doomed Dragon for game. I'm shocked that you have room for this card. This is quite interesting. I'm very much going to be looking now for how many people are playing this. Fiendsmith tracked, grabbing the Lurie. And remember what I said, tracked is not full combo. We're going to have to normal summon Veiler. What the heck? Why? Why do I got to normal summon my card here? Requiem, come forth and summon from the deck. Now, there's another card we could get, and I do want to take note of that. So this should have been Lacrima right now, but we're not. And besides Lacrima, you could instead have Necroquip if Konami decides to release this early. So in a scenario where the Necroquip comes out before Lacrima, then we're cooking with rogue decks again. We're back. We're turned back on. And I maybe would recommend Konami to do that. What do y'all think? Is this a more balanced card than adding Lacrima into the game? Because what would happen here is we would equip the Requiem, get the Engraver engrave, and then Engraver would reborn, and then you have Necroquip and Engraver to make Sequence or make a rank 6 Xyz. Otherwise, you end on Engraver and pass, or you have to normal summon Veiler. Now, I thought Mathmech was like a regular deck here. Apparently not. We got, there could only be one in Skill Drain. What the heck? Wanted Seeker searching for Diablo Star. We're going to fully cook from here. We just blocked our impermanence with Nibiru. Uh-oh. That's a problem. So how did we even Nibiru, right? Well, the opponent said, I'd like to show my intent to end my turn. So we thought that that was the end of it. but it was not. We got tricked. And you could play that mind game because the correct terminology is I'm ending my main phase, and end main phase in the turn 1 is go directly to the end phase. We're going to summon Ash, add Poplar, summon Poplar, get searching for the Divine Temple, set up Snake Eye Diablo Star. Holy moly, I can't believe this all happened right after Nibiru even. We're going to Snake Eye Ash, send Poplar, summon the Oak. In fact, this situation is really sus to me. We're really ending our turn with a Little Knight, and we had Seeker in hand even. Yeah, we knew that they were going to Nibiru. That's crazy. Meiki, how did you pull this off? How did you trick them? Because had they not activated Nibiru, you would have ended your turn without using Wanted Seeker. What the heck? Promethean Princess, reborn, our Flameburge. Maybe he really telegraphed his field lighting up. He didn't hide it well enough, and you just knew he had something. We have Apollo USA at Quadrub Monster Negate, plus there can be only one of a monster type on the field. So this field is a dragon and a fairy. That's perfectly fine. You just can't have 2 dragons and 2 fairies. Now, in addition to the 4 monster negate, we have the Ash Blossom to negate an interaction with the deck. We also, in the graveyard, have a Promethean Princess to pop on special summon. That's 6 disruption. What's a great card against the Apollo? Not a Veiler button in permanence, but we can't use it in permanence because Nibiru is blocking our back row thanks to the freaking Flameburge. Ain't no way. 6 disruption we have to play through. Oh, okay, we stole your Nibiru. Okay. As we oak into Linkuriboh, we could kill our Linkuriboh to then imperm the Apollo. Nope. All right, yeah, and then what are we going to do after that? What did we need to happen? We had to beg them to activate a monster effect in the main phase to then be able to use our triple tactics talent. Now, obviously, that did not happen. I don't think we had any pathway to even force that to happen. We're going to push the Linkuriboh back. Imperm obviously now activatable to completely turn off the Apollo USA, but is that really going to matter? We have the Requiem, but boosting by plus 600, 11,000 damage. You game. That's it. Lethal damage. Didn't even need the Apollo. Yup. Without Apollo, lethal. And you're going to find out. You're going to see right now. We're going to be discarding Flameburst, searching for the Hallowed Azmina. Hallowed Azmina, send the Sinful Spoil to perform a fusion summon. We're going to Fool Loss to draw per summon from the deck or extra deck. Or we're going to get fingered. Finger the Fool Loss, not today. So the line. A single Sinful Spoil plus a monster line in Snake Eye Fiendsmith. Write this down. This will be good to know. Come forth, Risalago. Risalago will be our first order of action. Now, what's great about starting with the Sinful Spoil is when they chain Fool Loss or Max C to your fusion spell activation, you then change your mind. You don't go into Risalago, you go into the Sylvia for an Omni Negate if you don't have a way to negate the Fool Loss or Max C. We're going to be adding the Wanted Seeker here. We're going to use the Hallowed Azmina. Now, this is the worst case scenario. Returning the on-field Risalago back in the extra deck, ideally we could get it into the grave by maybe summoning a Moon in the Closed Heaven. But what's great about this combo is that's only a bonus. It's not required. We don't have to do that. We can instead return it from the field as we then activate the Hallowed Azmina, then chain the Wanted Seeker to send the Wanted Seeker to the grave to grab a Diablo Star. Now, what if our hand is so good we don't want to discard any of these? The Wanted Seeker is going to give us a free draw for free, whatever off the top of the deck. And now, we have a negate. If you held on to your Ash Blossom for, let's say, an original Sinful that we're about to go into, it's not going to work because Sylvia will negate it. I believe Snake Eye Fiendsmith is more powerful than full power Snake Eye before any of the banlist hits. This deck is nuts. Off the top of the deck, Snake Eye Oak as we summon the Diablo Star. And this entire field, a negate plus original Sinful, was just Deception Sinful plus any monster. No other cards were used here. Now, it's really good, and thank you, Konami, for this. we made Promethean Princess balanced because she has the restriction of you cannot special summon except fire monsters. Otherwise, this would be a 2-card Apollo USA and would be absolutely absurdly broken. We're going to be doing exactly that. Apollo, Desiree negates it. That downside just got negated as we do that. Now, with 2 monster negates, we're going to equip the Masquerina with our Flame Burst. Now, let's talk about our disruptions here. Sylvia negates anything. Desiree, non-target negates up to 2 cards. That's 1 disruption. It's also untargetable thanks to the sequence. We have 2 monster negates to the Apollo USA. We have Masquerina, which will go into a double Little Knight Banish. We also have a Promethean Princess engraved to pop on special summon. We also have Nibiru. 8 disruptions versus a 5-card hand. Let's do it. We're going to summon our Diablo Star, get negated by Apollo USA. Now, you could chain link block the Diablo Star from being negated by making sure you send something like a Poplar. You put Poplar on the higher chain link. Unfortunately, we didn't have that play. Now down to 7 disrupt. We have Flame Burge reborning the Masquerina. I think the Diablo Star is trying to enter the battle phase here, so we're going to Little Knight Banish instead. Come forth, protecting our Apollo. Do not swing over her. Little Knights, Banish. We're now down to 6 disruption. As the Flame Burge reborns 2 level 1 fires, which will also help set up a follow-up play. Oh boy. And obviously we activated a bunch of monster effects, right? So the Triple Tactics talent's activatable. We're gonna wait on that as we Engraver, attempt to add from the deck a Fiendsmith Tract. We're now down to 5 disruption versus 2 cards left. Okay. Triple Tactics talent. Oh, bruh. You cross out designated instead of using one of your 5 disruptions? Come on, man, that is dirty. Holy shite. Damn. I'm disgusted. Well, we have no hand traps whatsoever, so have your way with me as we just speed this up. We're very good. Wow, that was very skillful. Top decking an Ash Blossom and Imperm with the Heat Soul. So what we have here is the Dark Fluid Terahertz could send an Aggregator to negate a card on field. We then have the Ogre, which could pop a continuous spell or trap that's activating after it's already been face up, or it could pop a monster. This can be used against a Desiree, and the Desiree will then negate nothing. It could also be used against a Little Knight. Little Knight will not banish anything on its second effect. It also could be used on an Apollo USA. Then Apollo does not negate what it was trying to negate if it wasn't used with a Masquerina. I'm just trying to sell you a little bit on Ogre. Yes, is it working? We have, so the Ash, Ogre, Imperm are triple disruptions. We have Super Factorial, reborn from Engrave to then send a card on the field, enhance the Grave. I'll count that as 1 disruption. On top of that, it is a negate. And then we had the Aggregator, so that's 6. And then we have Engrave the Disabler, which will negate any spell or trap card. That is 7 disruption we have to play through. Let's go. Spirit Gates, searching for the Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning on summon, going to be met with the Super Factorial. We're not negating the Dark Beckoning, but we will get the full send. We're going to send 2 cards on the field and 1 from the hand, which I only counted as 1 disruption. Maybe that should be counted as more, right? That's a lot of cards we are getting rid of with a single Laplation. Adding the Chaos Summoning, and then say goodbye to Spirit Gates Beckoning and a random card in hand. Ooh, the Throne is gone. That is huge. We do have the negate on Laplation. We're going to return back Yubel and the Dark Beckoning for the Phantom of Yubel. Fiendsmith Tract is going to be adding the Lurie to then discard it to trigger and reborn from Engrave. This could then turn into a Requiem or not, as we're going to first Imperm the Phantom of Yubel to turn it off early, as we use the Disave Worm to negate the Cross-on Designator, attempting to negate. We're going to Disave Worm, get negated by the Phantom of Yubel. We're going to Laplation negate, the negate negating the negate. Negate, Phantom of Yubel. Negated, negate, the Cross-on Designator. Imperm, negate nothing. All right, Requiem, let's go. Do we have the plays here? Requiem, I think we're now down to what, like 4 disruption. Ash Blossom negate the Requiem, which I think then negates this entire duel. Yup, you are in fact negated. Battle phase and main phase, yeah, holy moly, you got us good, boy. That was a crazy interaction. And now We're going to set our Firewall Dark Fluid to not 8,000, but 16,000 damage. Should we be revealing multiplication? Is that a given? Everyone who's playing the terahertz is definitely playing the multiplication. Let me see that real quick. I think I saw someone not playing it. They probably should, though. It is quite nuts. And maybe it's not that big of a reveal. Yeah, in fact, a lot. Oh, this is TCG, and the TCG. Well, don't they not even have there's no circular over there? Let's stop looking at that nonsense. Mathmech 89%. Yeah, you just revealed you ain't a part of the 11 though. That's fine, not too crazy. Well, Aurelia right away in the draw phase, which allows us to thrust a card into our back row. We're going to Engraver, discard, searching for the Tract. No draw here, as we're going to be. We have the Lurie already in hand, so discard Lurie, then Reborn from Engrave, no draw. And even if we summon from the extra deck, no draw. But if we normal summon that Dark Beckoning Beast or special summon the Squirmer, that's potentially 2 cards that they will be drawing into. We have Requiem with nothing to summon. Like, can you imagine that? They're Engraver, Engrave, Engraver in hand. The Requiem could summon from the hand, which will draw because of the Aurelia. So we don't want to do that. That'd be horrid. Negate the Beckoning after drawing into... What did we draw into? We summoned and we drew into an Ash Blossom. We're now making a sequence, which is safe from them drawing. Sequence is going to be banishing from the Graver to come forth and summon Lacrima. Lacrima will target a card Engrave, which we could use our Bestial on. Yup. Banish the Engraver. A card like Promethean Princess does not target the card it wants to reborn. Thus, it could be more difficult to use a card like DD Crow against it. Thrust, since you have a Bestial on field, allows us to add to the hand. We don't have to set into the back row. Thus, we're going to Ash Blossom Negate, which we drew off the top thanks to Aurelia. Negate. Tract is going to fuse with the field in hand, fusing away our entire field plus 1 card in our hand to make a Desiree. Desiree at 2,800 will be untargetable and be able to negate up to 2 cards on the field. Engraver, return back Lacrima Engraved to reborn itself. And with the Requiem, we could send the Magna Hut to the grave. Ooh, we're drawing under Aurelia again. Lots of draws as we now make our Yama. So far, we've drawn 2 cards off of the Aurelia. And the new Lingering Effect Timer button here will show you that you're under the effect of Aurelia or under any summon restrictions. A summon restriction would be something like Muckraker reborning from the grave, locking you into Fiend-type monsters only. We're now in the end phase as the Druid Swarm is going to be banishing from Engrave. I do want to note that not only are the Bestials great against Fiendsmith, I would say it's also really good against the Azmina engine. For simply just being a 2,500 attack monster, being able to attack over a Sylvia, that is good, right? Similar to taking out an Apollo USA. Even the cards that are Bestials being able to help take out an Apollo in addition to a Sylvia is good. But even better on when to use it could be on the activation of the Azmina Fusion spell Engrave, which it's going to be targeting the Azmina card to return back in order to add this back to even summon the Sylvia. That is when you're going to Bestial right then and there. So do I expect a lot of Bestials in today's event? Yes. And with the expectation of a lot of Bestials, it makes no sense on why we would then choose to play a Cyber deck that loses to Bestials. Are you out of your mind? I mean, we got top anyway, still, despite that. We're going to Soul of Rage, link off one of the special summon monsters, Magna Hut, to now make our Little Knight. Little Knight on summon, banish away the Druid Swarm, which wanted to be sent to the grave from the field to then send a special summon monster to the grave. We're going to Imperm negate the Little Knight. It does stop the secondary effect. The Desiree does have that Omni negate, but it is untargetable. Did we make an oopsie? Did we think that we could actually Imperm the Desiree? I think not, right? Sniper knows better as we're going into the Allenbert. Will Desiree negate? On summon search. No, we will not. We're going to hold our negate. Hold. Hold the line. Negate the diameter, though, from reborning a body from Engrave. I'm not going to negate your search, but you committed to your normal summon with a powerful effect. That's when we're going to whip it out. And the Desiree has a hidden effect here. Right now, it's doing it. What the heck? Shavara, pop Desiree, trigger Desiree to send the Splash Mage to the grave? That was beautiful if we were to not get fingered. Yeah. Yep, get fingered, Desiree, fingered, be gone. Negated. And now we have the power of the Mage to reborn. We have Equation to reborn. We have Subtraction to special summon. Sniper, show me the way. Now, a lot of people forget that I think it might be shown here actually. Look at this, the lingering effects. What lingering effect is the circular applying to this duel right now? And it would be the effect that many people forget, and that is you can only attack with one monster for the rest of this turn. So with this new tracker, you should not be forgetting. So don't scoop if they have 8,000 on field. Only one monster can attack. But the terahertz boosting up is going to be able to inflict that lethal damage, yes? It could go to 10k damage over the Shavara or Little Knight for game. Hey, that's what we're doing now, isn't it? Yep, there's our one attack at only 3,000, which now boost to 11,000 attack for game. 2-0 victory. Holy moly, that was nuts. Now we're facing off against a Druid Swarm and a Nibiru. Two forms of potential disruptions here, as the Inheritance will be searching for the one-card Canahawk. This is full combo. That's it. That's all you need. Now, is the field lighting up because of the Bestial? Do we have a lighter, dark, and grave? We don't. So if the field, it says 4, but it's a lie. It's 5. There you go. And now we would know definitively that they have a Nibiru, not definitively, but very likely, if only now the field's lighting up, that it's Nibiru time. Can Playmaker hide his Nibiru well? Maybe he can. Let's see if that's the situation. Canahawk banishing a Ripengu as we now go into the ulti Canahawk. Ulti Canahawk is going to be sending two to be searching for the steeds. Bruh, Bun saw your Nibiru. Because this is full combo. Like, this is full wombo combo. He stopped early. He was supposed to go into Kimu, summon Wen, and that's when you Nibiru. So instead of playing into a hard Nibiru, you know, I don't know. You can't be wearing sunglasses when you duel. I see the Nibiru reflection. That's exactly what just happened. That's crazy. We do have Skill Drain, which will negate every monster on the field while face up, that is. If it leaves the field after activation, it's no longer negated. Steeds will be able to pop at least one body on the field. We have a Nibiru of our own, you know, about triple disruption, one of them being a super hard floodgate. Howled Azmina. We're shotgunning into probably a Sylvia, right? Sylvia can negate under Skill Drain. She tributes herself to negate. We're going to add the Wanted Seeker to search for Diablo to then send the Wanted Seeker. I'll keep this finger up because it is the Skill Drain. There it is. We are ready to negate. We can negate Steeds or the Nibiru, but we get fingered though. Oh shoot, Call by the Grave fingers our negate. We're going to summon Diablo, we're negated. We're going into beatdown mode. Steeds is going to get popped. We're going to attempt to negate the Steeds. You're not fingering Sylvia. Wow, you don't care. You're gonna hold your finger for something else instead. You're not fingering even the Howled Azmina? What are we fingering? What are you saving the finger for? Laura is going to protect from our destruction to then summon an Apelio from the deck. Apelio's gonna banish to boost up the field, but we are negated. We're gonna use the Canahawk to jump into two bodies. Now, Winda is activatable under the effect of Skill Drain to summon a monster from the extra deck when destroyed. Definitely don't want to attack into her, but I would encourage you to get rid of her through a different play. She only activates when destroyed, and the Druid Swarm will send, not destroyed. That's what you have to do. Avoid battle, just send her in main phase 2. Inheritance is going to change the battle position of your Druid Swarm because we summon two bodies at the same time. Normally, that's never really used as a form of disruption, which actually happened here, so good job on that. No, you did not. You leaving up the Wen. Uh-oh. Oh, the window, that is. We're going to summon Wen, fuse into the Canahawk, trigger the Tamer Laura when banished to summon an Elder from the deck. We have Canahawk making all the plays. It could search and special summon under Skill Drain because we jump off the field. Now, if Bun knew you had Nibiru on our first turn, Bun has to remember that you still have Nibiru. But Nibiru will come at a cost of tributing your own field. It does tribute by effect, though. We're going to be discarding the Tamer Laura with the Inheritance as we make our ulti Apelio. We are going to use the Diablo Star Black Witch to trigger her effect when sent to the grave, all within a damage step here. After we sent the Druistorm, we're going to send the Ulti Apelio as the Winda is going to be destroyed by battle to then summon the Ulti Gaia. Now, it's worth noting, not because of skill drain, but even without skill drain, if not summoned from the extra deck, you only then get the ability to negate spell, trap, and monster effects. It has no negate even if skill drain is gone. You got to properly summon it. But it's a 3200 body. We're in a beatdown matchup thanks to that skill drain. Uh-oh, Flame Burst to D, then pass. Skill drain's limited to 1, and we just hard drew it. How disgusting of you, Buns. We're going to be revealing Cannahawk, grabbing the Elder. We could discard any card we want, as we now have the Elder Cannahawk play, but the skill drain will negate it. We're just setting up beatdown mode. 10,000 damage in the field. We do have a Magna Hut to block one of the attacks. We're going to Call by the Grave, finger the card you're trying to banish. Thus, the Magna Hut does not get summoned. And just like that, this should in fact be game. Yes, indeed. Hit him up with the Pengu, smack with the Cannahawk. Lethal damage with the Ulti Nochi. Ua loss right away. We do have side deck, even though we're probably main deck in the Fua loss. We have the Deception is Sinful, getting rid of the Ogre to search for the Hollowed Azmina. As we go into a Rasalago, even under the effect of Fua loss, this is quite interesting. You would think you make Sylvia pass, but nope. We're going to Valor, negate the Rasalago. No search for you. What happened? We are going to Deception, sends the back row. This is nothing. That is nothing. We do have Ogre and Droll. Double disruption. Pop a monster activating, or we could pop a continuous spell or trap that's activating after it's already been face up. We could disallow further adding. Now, Droll is incredible against Ritual Beast. Ritual Beast loves to search continually with the Ulti Hawk over and over again. So what do? Tamer Laura is going to send herself to then perform an additional summon. We still have that regular normal summon, as you can see there. We're going to be banishing from Engrave to summon our Ulti Nochi after the Rapangu has set up the grave, summoning a Cannahawk from the deck. These two fingers are the 2 disruption Playmaker has. As we make a Banshee. Banshee is going to be searching our deck for the Nemesis Flag, but then the Nemesis Flag now cannot search for a Protoss. Can you search for Protoss under Droll and Lockbird or against Droll and Lockbird? The answer is yes, but there is no reasonable way to actually make that play. The Banshee would send Nemesis Flag instead of searching, and then you'd reborn it with Cross Sheep, and then your first search would be the Protoss. No one's doing that. We're going to kill our Little Knight and then kill our Winda. As the Winda, that was good. That was good. We're gonna get summoned. We got the Ulti Ray now on the field here. Now Ulti Ray states that neither player could tribute cards to activate a card or effect. What tribute cards activate a card or effect? That is something like the Sinful Deception, right? The newly released card now cannot activate to tribute by tributing. Let's read this. Let's type in the word tribute, and then we'll put in the top tier deck like Yubel is obvious. Yubel, D-Lotus cannot activate to summon from the deck. Phantom of Yubel cannot activate to negate, can't tribute to negate. And then the newer deck, Snake Eye Fiendsmith, is gonna be the Azmina stuff. This says tribute this card to negate, can activate, and then Deception, does it say tribute? Tribute a monster to add. Turned off completely. Very nice. Wow, so is now the time to play Ritual Beast or what? In response to the Oak, also we're going to banish ourselves if we want to do that instead of having the tribute effect. Now, the Snake Eye Oak does not tribute to summon for the deck, it sends instead. We're going to make a Link Rebo and end our turn. Ain't no way, we just banished him. Get out of here. Cannahawk ticking down like a gold Sark. We have Nemesis Flag. We're turning back the Ulti Ray to summon as the Nemesis Flag now searches for our Protoss. With Protoss here, we could declare an attribute, and that attribute will then be illegal. For the rest of this turn and the opponent's turn, Dark Monsters cannot be special summoned. But just like that, we have a 2-0 victory. Lethal damage. Nicely done. Holy moly. Can you Nibiru under the link 4? Yes, you can. If we look at the word tribute under Phantom of Yubel, it's in, you call this color red, right? Because it is in the red, it stops anything that says tribute in the red text. And on the website, you have to turn on the red text in your settings. I could show you that. Since the tribute is not in the red text, it's not a tribute as a cost. Why is Control F not working? Oh, because there's tribute 11 times on my screen for some reason before it gets to Nibiru. There you go. Well, I don't know why tribute's all over the screen for some reason. So tribute's not in the red text, thus it's not a cost, it's part of the effect. You're not tributing to activate an effect, and that's how you know. That's the trick. So on the website, you'd go to your profile, or I think it's settings, and it is this. Show condition and activation highlights is how you'll learn stuff like that. There you go. Now, with that 2-0, let's hop into another match. Dark. All right, let's Dark Beckoning Beast with the Spirit Gates, additional summon, double Dark Beckoning into the Moon of the Closed Heaven. A lot of people were instead making a Yama. Instead of Yama, we going Requiem. Now, as I was saying, we got hit by the Ash. So as I was saying earlier, without Lacrima, your rogue deck can't make this play. Because we're not a rogue deck, alongside the Engraver, we would discard with the Spirit Gates to Reborn to get that extra body that you would not need had we had Lacrima. We're going to get discarding nonetheless. Discard the Fualos, which is now dead. Magna Hut banishing the Beckoning Beast. Magna Hut activating to grab a dragon during the end phase. Now making a Masquerena. Masquerena in pass, which is going to have to be used alongside the Bestial. So what's interesting in this duel is I talked about summoning a Yama. Bro, you're Yamaless? No Yama in Yubel? Where's the Yama? What the? Okay, I was going to say summoning Yama would have been better, but we don't even play it. I didn't know this version of Yubel existed. Huh. Okay, Imperm, negate. It's not Yubel? Why are we playing Dark Beckoning? Dark Beckoning means Yubel. What is this? What? Azmina, this is the Fiend link? This is the Link Fiends? Come forth, little knight, on summon, banishing the Sylvia after negating it from searching for a Tales of the White Forest. We are now going to be triggering the Serenir to send from the deck. What is this deck? What, Justinian, what are you? Who are you? What's the name of your deck? Special summon Elzet Azmina after searching for it with the Elzet discarding our Called by the Grave. We're going to Little Knight banish you as you're activating the fusion summon. Do we fulfill the fusion requirements, which is a spellcaster plus, let's read the Azmina, it's going to be an illusion. We have an illusion and a light spellcaster, so it looks like we do fulfill the requirement to get fusion. There we go. Let's freaking go. We thought we got him, but we don't. We could have if we banished the right card, or they're both light spellcaster. The Elzet Azmina, yeah, we banished the wrong card actually. Had we banished the spellcaster, we would have not been fusing. Wrong material. And the requirement happened. It was not a cost, but the effect to fuse with the Queen Azmina. Thus, it's back on the field. Nice. That's pretty interesting. We're now going to Wanted Seeker searching for our Diablo Star as we now turn this into our Fiendsmith engine. Get Fiendsmith into Requiem. Requiem, jump off the field, summon into the scoop phase. Wow. We scooping. This is just, was this like Fiendsmith good stuff? Is that what we're going to call this? What is good? Let's Nightmare Throne into the Dark Beckoning Beast, into a Droll and Lockbird. Finger that Droll. Negate. Dark Beckoning is going to be your full Fiendsmith combo. M7, you are doing some illegal things, sir. What are you doing? Stop. Stop this. That's not a Beatrice. Okay, I guess that was kind of interesting. endlessly gain resources through the regained as you just continually grind them. It seems like a heavy emphasis on Bystials in this deck, which again, this is not Yubel. Do not get confused by this throne. Damn, she tiny. What the heck? This is going to be a negate, Little Knight banish, Ash interact with the deck will be negated, Solemn Judgment negate anything. That is about 4 disruptions without even counting the Baldrake. Solemn, completely negate that summon. No. 3 disrupt left. We have LZ discarding Wanted Seeker into an Ash negate. Ash on LZ is huge. Big negate. As we now have double disruption left. The non-target negate of Desiree and the Little Knight banish, as we did not have enough juice to push through that. Justinian that is, with the game 2 victory. Let's hop into game 3. Graver discard, add the tract. Obviously can't Bystial right now, you're not going to. You cannot Bystial the Luri. There's no body on the field as it attempts to reborn, but we didn't even discard it. We discarded the Queen Azmina by card effect, which triggers her effect to reborn. Holy moly, what the? Now, you can use the Bystial on the Hallowed Azmina engrave attempting to add itself back. It's going to target the card it wants to return back, which will be the LZ Azmina. I mean, this is also a good... Bystial is just so good in this matchup. You want to Bystial the Rusia or the Sylvia engraver trying to reborn, but you want to make sure it activates first because it will return back the Synchro. They do lose that, and then they also lose their body. The problem with using this effect, though, is the Rusia and Sylvie are a quick effect. So if they have the other one, then you get outplayed as they summon that one instead. And do we have that? We do not have the Sylvie. So that is something... Do not get outplayed by that. It'll make you look real bad. This is also a Bystial effect here to stop the fusion spell from being added back to the hand. You would then banish their card first before it's added back. We're going to be chaining the Wanted Seeker to the activation of the Hallowed Azmina fusion spell to ensure that we send the Wanted Seeker. It was only a valid activation because we were on resolution going to discard the Wanted Seeker from our hand. And just like that, Sylvia is here ready to Omni negate. Engraver, return back Luri to reborn. We had a good Bystial and a good Impermanence. Does the opponent care? No, because in this meta, you need 3 good hand traps. 2 is not good enough. No way. These decks they're like 3 decks in 1. It's White Forest, Azmina, and Fiendsmith. Thus, you need 3 hand traps. Same thing with Snake Eye. Snake Eye, Azmina, Fiendsmith. If there's only 2 hand traps out of the 3 decks will overcome you with the 3rd version of their deck. 3rd part of their deck, that is. Quadra Apollo, super balanced. Oh my goodness. 4 monster negates, plus a 5th negate anything, plus an Ash Blossom negate in interaction with the deck. That is 6 disruptions. Now, the Bystials inherently, just by them being big and large at 2500 attack, can swing over a card like Sylvia and normally swing over an Apollo as it would normally be 2400 attack or lower. After it negates once, it will then be that low. With our 6 disruptions, Apollo dropping down to 24, this is your opportunity. She can only negate once in 1 chain. So you chain your Baldrake to it already negating something else. But then they have a Sylvia to be that additional negate. Negate! As from 6 disruption, we now drop down to 4. 4 disrupts with a hard once per turn Baldrake activated, hard once per turn Lubellion activated. Our only play is to end our turn. RIP. Justinian, I really wanted to see more of your deck. Damn. I see a Celine Abida in the extra deck. Thank you for whipping this out today, though. This is some crazy stuff. Deception and Sinful Spoil. Say goodbye to the Fool loss as we Ogre. Ogre is great right now against the Azmina engine. The Azmina engine is otherwise going to force you to use one of your other cards to stop it or have to try to mitigate the Sylvia, it eats up your Asher Imperm. So if you want to protect your Asher Imperm, the Ogre is a good way. We're going to Droll and Lockbird after the add, as instead of going into the Versaliga, we're going to go straight into the Sylvia. Since we can't add with Ash, we can't add with the other Azmina, we end on an Omni Negate, and now back to you. Now, because the Sylvia tributes itself to Negate, we could then activate a card like Fualos. But Tenpai doesn't care about Fualos or Max C within the battle phases. They're swinging in for 30,000 damage. We're going to start this off with a Pydra. We are going to go through with that Negate. It does not destroy, it does not remove, it stays on the field. And with Kaiman, you now lose. Okay, that was a quick one. All right, Kaiman is semi-limited. Chandra is limited to 1. The field spell is limited to 1. I think those are all the relevant hits besides Pot of P being banned, which I would be blaming Tenpai for it. Now, Druiswarm has entered the fray. If sent to the graveyard, it will then send a special summon monster to the grave. We're going to be making our Biden Dragon draw another Bestial. Very nice. But that Bestial is not summonable until our Druiswarm hits the grave. And will it, though? Now it doesn't matter. We actually can't summon the Magna Hut because nothing's activatable. Not even the effect of Druiswarm when sent to the grave to send a monster. That is now turned off completely. Now, the good news is we do not have the field spell to boost up something like a Trident Dragon, which would add another 18,000 damage, but it looks like we don't need it. Tenpai's a deck that probably is playing upwards to 20 plus Hand Trap and or Board Breaker, though, so this is more likely in Tenpai than any other deck. We are going to Max C in the draw phase, which the Talents is now not activatable until we have that Ash or Ogre be activated. We have the Deception of Sinful Spoils, perfect for our Ogre. Love it, perfect. Destroy, no search, no Azmina engine for you. But now we get the Triple Tactics talent, go for that look. Wow, your hand sucks, let's return that Ash back and end our turn. We just have a Max C. We lose it all if they top deck a 1-card combo. And the 1-card combos, I guess, would be 2 Kaiman, 1 field spell, 3 Pydra. It's like 6 cards. We could be playing a Dora, maybe another Dora, maybe another Dora. We could play a Genroku, another Genroku, another Gen. That's like 12 cards we could top deck to just win it all. Straight up. 36 cards, and we win. That's it. It's over. Okay. A great duel. Yusuf, thank you. I'm sorry this happened, my friend. It was just unfortunate you had to pair with one of the few Tenpai players that are left. Let's speed this up. Chandra, summon Pydra. Pydra, set the Sanged Summoning. Further gets swinging. We're now going to Synchro Shokan into a Biden Dragon. No, where are my cards? We need something better. Red Reboot. What the? We're going to then activate Synchro into the Transcendent Dragon. Lethal damage. Yusuf, you know I love you, my friend. I appreciate you. All is well. Sorry that this happened. And Tenpai advances into the top 8. Now, remember, if you do have something like Ogre, which is great against Desiree, it will stop it from negating you. Also great against the Deception is Sinful. It should also be good against an Apollo, but this Apollo is protected by the Masquerena it was used. You could also use Ogre on something like a Masquerena activating to link. Now, beyond all that, what are our forms of disruption? It is quite interesting to see. We're playing DD Crow, and there are so many other hand traps we're playing this over a Bestial. That is quite interesting. We have the Promethean Pop a Monster on Special Summon, double Monster Negate with the Apollo USA. Desiree is untargetable and can non-target negate up to 2 cards. That's 1 disruption. We have a negate on the Sylvia. We can Masquerena summon through the Divine Temple or the Flameburst to then go into a double Little Knight Banish. We then have an Impermanence, and I guess we should call the DD Crow a Disruption. That's why we're playing it, right? 9 disruption versus a 6-card hand, and I see we did not open into a Board Breaker. Nope. I remember I saw it in the chat. It didn't register. It did not register, but I think that chatter is one guy, or maybe it was more than one guy. I think it's time to bring back the ball. The sphere mode raw. Yeah, right? Everyone's summoning 3 or more bodies to tribute with this thing. Come on. It's time. We have to be playing this. This is ridiculous. Divine Temple trigger. Trigger the Oak. Desiree negate the Diablo Star. No set of a Sinful Spoil for you. Also negate the Deception on field. Rip. As we now Flame Burst summon our Masquerina, allowing you to go to the battle phase. So we do lose out on 2 of those forms of disruption. We also lost, we lost 4 disruption here. We still have the Sylvia. We still have the Imperm. We still have the DD Crow. We still have the Promethean Princess. Hida is going to steal the Ash. We're going to Imperm negate. I don't think so, mate. Cross out designate. I do think so. As the Sylvia says no. Negate. The negate negating the negate. Negated. You can see the lingering alert tells you that Imperm is negating a column here. Tracked, add Lurie, discard Lurie, Lurie, Reborn, or we DD to the Crow? No? Okay, sure. We're going to be triggering our Promethean Princess, say goodbye to the Lurie. Promethean is now ready to Reborn a Fire during the next turn. You are negated, sir, but nice try. Okay, yep, and it wasn't a mistake. That was like, what are we doing? There's nothing else to do. It was a funnier way than hitting surrender. Game number 2. Holy madness. But now we get to go first. We're not turning on this talents. No way. Vodka, chill. Don't activate anything. It's all bait. Okay? Yep. I mean, this is full Fiendsmith combo. This is 3 bodies. 2 bodies is not enough, 3 is. So you actually will play into a talent. This actually was a pretty good hand because Unicorn plus a hand trap is the way. Let's make the Requiem into the Ash, into the Triple Tactics talent, draw 2. We still have DD Crow though. Now, Birth versus DD Crow. How does that work? This state special summon a Kashtira that's banished from the grave. So if you DD Crow the Kashtira, since this card does not target, it still summons it. You can't DD Crow against Birth. We are going to Triple Tactics talent. Oh boy, you beat the first part of our deck. Here's the other part as we add Poplar. Poplar special summon, activate, as we did use up the normal summon, just the normal summon, the hand trap, which we had to do. Come forth, Link Karibo. Now the Poplar will be equipping itself, being ready to be set up with the original Sinful to summon from the deck our Snake Eye Oak. Ash would not be good since we do not have a normal summon for the Oak. Oak's going to be sending the Link Karibo in itself to come forth and summon the Flameburge. With the Flameburge being sent to the grave, we're going to be making a Hida that will trigger the Flameburge to reborn 2 level 1 fires, and it has to reborn 2. If it does not reborn 2, it reborns none, and it does not target. Non-target, summon 2, now it's going to summon none. How many disruptions did we actually end up on? Pretty much with the Promethean engrave, right? Did we get a Promethean, or that was another duel? I guess not this duel. We just have the Masquerina into a double Little Knight plus the Ash Blossom negate. The Birth can be quite disruptive. I'm not going to count it as a disruption, but banishing 3 of the opponent's cards in the grave face down after the resolution of a spell, card, or effect, that could be nuts. Even the Unicorn, looking at that extra deck and banishing, what card do you think would be best for the Unicorn to get rid of? We're going to Fool Us early to help play around the Masquerina and say goodbye to your Requiem now. All right. Did anyone in the chat say Requiem? As we add the Ash. We are ready with our own Ash for the ability of the Ash summoning from the deck or an original Sinful summoning from the deck. Poplar searching for that original Sinful. As we now hollowed Azmina into the Masquerina going into our Little Knight play. We still have our 3 disruption going into one of the 3 right now. As the Little Knight, remember the Fool loss allowed us to a draw into an Ash here. Sylvia. Little Knight, activate on summon, targeting the Poplar, Sylvia, negate, but does not destroy, does not banish, so the other effect of Little Knight will still be active and ready. We have Ash, we have Little Knight banish. We're going to be returning back the Sylvia to add back the Hallowed Azmina. Link off Poplar into Linkuriboh, trigger the Poplar, equip itself, and we are in fact going to be using our Little Knight right now to banish away that Linkuriboh. We do not want the opponent to have access to their own Little Knight plays. It could be quite disruptive. As we're going to Ash Blossom, negate the effect of Snake Eye Ash summoning a monster from the deck. Negate. What is good, as we're now going to Engraver, grab Attract. We don't have a Unicorn on the field anymore, so the Birth is not going to trigger. What would happen, though? Think about this. You Attract, add Lurie, discard Lurie. So what do you think happens with Birth and Lurie? Lurie will be Chain Link 1. Birth will be Chain Link 2. It will banish away the Engraver, the Lurie, and something else. That's crazy. Should we be playing Unicorn or what? Unicorn counters Tract. Unicorn also banish whatever from the extra deck. Unicorn plus a hand trap is the full Fiendsmith combo. So without the main deck Lacrima, Unicorn is better. Similar to what we saw in the other deck, playing the Dark Beckoning Beast in a way that's pretty much kind of like playing Unicorn. Holy moly, let's hop in a game. Number 3. Now, this is 2 hand traps plus a board breaker. That could be enough now. We're going to need the Change of Heart. The Droll is actually a very powerful hand trap that could turn off a lot of the other plays, which could almost make this enough. Have a freaking skill drain, mate. What the? We pretty much just have Promethean. That Bestial on the sequence was incredible because it's quite the commitment to even go into the Desiree. You trade at least 2 disruptions by going into the Desiree instead of something else. So with just the Promethean, we have Ash and skill drain. Triple disruption. Droll definitely did help a lot. Droll turned off Bonfire and the Deception Sinful. And now we are draining the skill from Yamao. Negate the Diablo Star. Oak's going to send Magna Hut to just get ashed. We're now down to double disruption. Skill drain continually being up. And the Engraved Promethean Princess. Change the heart of your Flameburge. Flameburge wipe out the Desiree, which activates in the damage step, right? We don't have another Light Fiend to activate. Wow. There's no other Light Fiend to send a card in the field to the grave. Where'd they all go? As we now main phase 2 into Hida to end. Yeah, we're ending. I mean, what can we do? There's a freaking skill drain on the field. All right, let's Linkuriboh, equip the Flameburge with the Poplar. The Deception cannot send it, but somehow we knew we were going to top deck a Diablo Star to send the Flameburge. That doesn't seem right. Let's now make a Moon of the Closed Heaven. 4,500 damage versus an 1850 block. Let's further make our Requiem. Requiem jumping off the field to come forth and summon from the deck. Our Fiendsmith, everything is negated as we now make our Masquerena. Using the Engraver to Reborn, return back the Moon of the Closed Heaven. As we Requiem equip to give a nice little boost, plus 600. As we now link away the opposing player's Hida into an Underworld Goddess. Goddess is here, 5,500 damage. I'm seeing a lot of skill drain in today's event. It is quite concerning. And it does not help that Sylvia can negate under skill drain. It also doesn't help that once they're done with the skill drain, they could send it away whenever they want with an Ash, an Oak, a Diablo Star. They can't send it away with the Deception of Sinful. That'd be a bit too broken. While we have no face-up card to send with our original Sinful, it is game 3. I think that's the end for us. Lethal damage with the Goddess. Nicely done from both of you. Thank you. Oh boy. Oh boy, skill draining it up. It's not the first Mad Lad where we're seeing skill drain. There is a lot of them in today's event. Begin. Pirellia. Now, speaking of Tenpai, this would be probably the only deck that main decks the Pirellia. Let's take a gander at that. Yep. There's Tenpai. Tenpai is in fact here. We're going to draw per normal or special summon from the hand. We're going to be popping off with the Azmina engine using the Azmina fusion to summon the Brisalago. Now, there's a potential issue here. Desiree can negate impermanence. Imperm negates Sylvia. Sylvia negates Nibiru. But the Desiree cannot negate it yet until it has a link equipped to it. So what's going to happen here? We're going to Snake Eye Diablo-Star, equip the Oak from the Grave to summon, making a Promethean Princess. We're going to negate the Imperm, and the Imperm's needed to negate the Sylvia. And the Sylvia needs to negate the Nibiru, but we have two Imperms, so maybe we allow it to negate the first one, but they have a cross-out designator, and we don't know it, and we're going all in on this Nibiru with the Imperm negating the Sylvia. Oh boy, we're doing it right now. Chain Imperm, right? Nope, can't. You freaking can't. You can't chain Imperm to cross out. It negates all three Imperms in your hand. Negate. Well, damn. So is anyone going to shed a tear for Tenpai in the chat here, or are you're not laughing at them, are you? Be cool, right? Nibiru, Sylvia, negate. I don't think so. As we negate our Promethean, we can now summon non-fire monsters. And would you look at that? Divine Temple or Flameburge will summon the Sylvia back because Sylvia, for some reason, was properly fusion summoned. They couldn't at least had balanced the card through and properly summoning it so that it would not be freaking rebornable. Well, what do we have here? Sylvia will negate anything, as the Apollo will negate two monsters, as the Desiree will untargetable and non-target negate up to two cards in the field. That's 4 disruption, plus the Promethean Princess in Grave, which will be a pop on special summon. About 5 disruption, plus the Drone Lockbird, so 6. 6 plays. And we have 1 Kaiman to try to get through. We're going to negate the Sylvia, sending 2 monsters in a trap, sure. Okay, let's get negating. We are negating everything besides the Promethean and the Droll. So this 6 disruptions now too. Droll and Promethean, that's it. We're going to be reborning the Oak from the back row in response to your summon. Dora searching for a Chundra here, or a Genroku is fine. Genroku will trigger after being added to summon itself onto the field. Drone Lockbird will disallow further adding cards from the deck to the hand. Not going to happen. Now we just have Promethean. Promethean is waiting. Genroku will be using the battle phase here. Let's Genroku jump off the field. Link Karibo is going to be hopping on the field in a response to the Genroku, summoning from the deck. Sure. As we now successfully summon our Chundra. We're going to Link Karibo reduce the Chundra. As we now Black Rose Dragon. Black Rose must be summoned on Chainlink 1 to wipe away the entire field. And that's exactly what just happened. Holy wipeage. Full field wipe. But isn't that like a surrender? How's that good? I think we activated the wrong effects. I think we thought that we were summoning from the deck? Is that right? Could we have thought that? Did we think that? What happened? I'm afraid of Princess. You're just gonna lose now. Like straight up. Okay. Huh. I think that was a mistake. And by mistake, I think misclick. I don't think that was an incorrect decision. It was an incorrect click. Not enough for lethal damage here, but now 1200 and below is enough for lethal damage with the Lacrima. You do have to always be careful of that. You still have Promethean. We have double Little Knight Banish plus an Imperm, Quadra Disruption. Hydra, Imperm, Negate. You're not checking PayPal. Get out of here. Triple Disrupt. The attempt to enter the battle phase. We're going to activate the Masquerena to banish away that Hydra. Why not summon Biden? Why not a lot of things, right? I don't really know. I guess he was really holding on to the Promethean, so he was afraid of something. I get, you would damage step summon. Promethean can't be used in the damage step anyway as you're attacking. I think he left. That was it. I think he peaced out. He black rosed and then he's out of here. Okay. Well, down like the PSN network, let's hop into the next match. Let's see what is good here. We have the magic number 3 hand traps. We got the Maxi, Veiler, and the Ash Blossom. Surely you will now be kept in check where you belong. Ending after just maybe 2 hand traps will be enough, actually, as the Requiem's negated by Ash, attempting to summon an Engraver from the deck. Diablo Star maybe will Veiler, but because they already used up their normal summon, it could be safer to Veiler. And if you don't Veiler a Diablo Star now, it turns into a Sylvia. It's like you kind of, you before did not want to negate Diablo Star, but now I feel like you kind of have to. Negating a Raseliga is not a good idea. It's an extra body you let them get on the field. They can now link off with it, then return it back, and then make a Sylvia, right? Diablo Star negate, it's now the way, which sucks. I wish that wasn't the case. We're going to Deception. Lose a monster into Ash Blossom negate. Even if this is not a good Ash, you kind of have to do it. And if you play the Elzet Azmina while you already have the Hollowed Azmina in hand, it could be a nice bait. Otherwise, you have no other card to search. Let's Divine Temple set up the Flamberge, which on summon will trigger the field spell to summon it from our back row. We have 0 disruption. Nada. 0. Let's see what's good. Tract will add Lurie, discard Lurie. You have to understand, this is not a 1-card combo here. We do need to normal summon something from our hand to do anything with this. And now we're going to hit you with that Maxi, just a Upstart Goblin. Literally draw 1. Nothing else will come from this. Pretty good draw 1 as it's a Spirit Gates, thank you. Adding the Dark Beckoning, summon it. Let's speed this up. Quench. Only a 1-turn kill here will be valid. Otherwise, you must hit Surrender. Let's see if you can do it. Moon of the Closed Heaven. Link off into our Requiem. Requiem summon from the deck, our Engraver. Engraver and our Beast will make the Sequence. Sequence will fuse the graveyard into a Lacrima. Lacrima will reborn the Engraver, turning this into a Beatrice. Beatrice will send from the deck a D-Lotus. We can now Muckraker, reborn it, or Spirit Gates, reborn it. Those are our 2 options here. And just like that, we just gained access to the Yubel engine. If you were playing White Forest, you could turn the Beatrice and Sequence into an Elf, or here would have been the Muckraker, or in Snake Eye, it would have been Promethean Princess, reborn the Snake Eye Ash. And that's one of the many reasons why Beatrice is broken. We are summoning after being destroyed. Get poppin' with the summon of the Squirmer. Trigger to summon a Terra Incarnate. Further linking this into a Yama. Yama's going to search our deck for a Shavara. We only need 3 Yubel attacks per game. Triple swing into the Flamberge and we win. Had we known we were playing against Yubel, this probably would have been set into defense, not attack, which would then turn it into 4 attacks per game. All right. Game 1, we learned. What is good? Well, what happened here? Quench going second. Sniffus, you knew you were going first and you put Pirelli on your deck and you passed. Okay, that's quite interesting. So we think that Pirelli is still good even if we're going first. And because we do have side deck in today's event, we have Pirelli plus Max C, and because of Pirelli, we're forced to not commit to the field. A single Lurie is not a combo. It's not a good combo. It does not end on a full play unless we have the Lacrima in the main deck, which will be at a later date. Beautiful. Trick them. Have them finger something else that's not your max C. Always try to bait your other hand traps first. If you have an Ash, have them finger your Ash instead to protect your C. Goodbye Pirellia, the trashier hand trap. It's not even that good, but if Pirellia says, eat your opponent's finger, that was great, and it ended their turn. Now, we are dealing with an impermanence and nothing else. Let's see how far we could get. Come forth, Diablo Star. As I was saying, we're in this weird situation where you have to impermanent Veiler a Diablo Star now. I hate it. Negate. And now, because there's a Diablo Star alongside the Lurie, the one-card Lurie only then is now a full combo. Because what do you do with this Engraver? You can't get it engrave. You can't necro-equip it. You're not using Lacrima to send it from the decks to the grave. You gotta link it off with something. There we have it, sequence. But do understand that one Engraver in hand is full combo, but only having an Engraver in hand, which is semi-limited. We are making our Lacrima, which because of Lacrima, we only have to deal 6,800 damage. Surely we could do it. We're gonna grab the Tract by adding back the Engraver Tract, add Lurie, discard Lurie. It's like, where we play more than one Lurie? Where'd that Lurie come from? These cards keep on freaking recycling like crazy. They're in the grave, back in the deck, and that's why you don't have to play multiple copies in the extra deck. You don't have to play multiple copies in the deck. It's disgusting. The recursion factor also is applied to Azmina. Azmina is continually recycling the sinful spells back in the end phase. The Azmina fusions are back in the extra deck over and over. Bro, what are we doing? 68. That's it. Go to battle phase. Chill. Red alert. Spirit of Yubel will be activated on your attack. Do not play nice. Do your full combo. Go all the way. That is a problem. But the Snake Eye Diablo Star will actually out the Spirit of Yubel. Not if it's the first to attack, though. It does have the ability to put the Spirit of Yubel into the back row. This will be quite interesting. So, yeah, don't stop this nonsense of feeling bad and overkill and BM. Just make your best possible play. If your opponent doesn't like it, the door's over there. They could surrender, they could walk out. Never feel bad. Come forth, Flameburge, Lacrima. We're gonna burn early. Bro, it's so much cooler when you burn in main phase 2 for game. Okay, we do have Apollo to negate. Still have to calculate this. Minus 800 off of this, and there you go. Just like that, accounting for the Spirit of Yubel, as you should do. We also have the Doom Dragon. 89, more than enough for game. Lethal damage. Thank you, Sniffus, for showing this being done correctly. Ooh, a loss. Damn. These Molcharmies are eating the fingers left and right. I can't believe it. Quench fingered his Pirellia, Quench fingered his Fualos, and every single time the Maxi follows up right after that finger. Beautifully done. We are now under the C. And you can see it under the lingering effect window. It now shows that. You could highlight the Call by the Grave. Will tell you what exactly is also fingered. So that Call by the Grave is going to remain there for 2 turns. Very nice on Konami for that. Veiler negates the Unicorn. Even before negating Unicorn wasn't a good idea, because what is Unicorn even going to do in a non-Kashtira deck? It's not going to do much, but a Unicorn is now Birth plus a hand trap. It's being normal summoned, turning into the Moon Close, into the Requiem, into the Engraver, into Reborn Unicorn, into the full Fiendsmith combo from there. So in a way, it's like these cards where you were supposed to hold your hand traps on, you now just have to do it. You got to. It's not optimal, but it actually is, because they're going to eat it otherwise. You're going to let them make an Apollo or a Desiree, and then now they negate your Imperm or your other cards. You have Ash on summon, adding the Poplar here. Unicorn's going to be taking a gander at that extra deck. Will this be meaningful enough to shut down their turn? No, it won't, but say goodbye to Requiem, sure. Turn off the Fiendsmith engine for you. You still have full Azmina, full Snake Eye. Bro, we're top tier without Fiendsmith. I don't even need it. We're going to summon in Oak from the deck, Oak, Reborn, the Ash. And again, Sniffus has to perform the combo to beat the Spirit of Yubel. Perfect 8,000 is not enough. This is no longer a bro, what's taking you so long? Come on, just end it. No way, mate. You got that Yubel. And you know what I noticed? What has changed? Something's missing. A card that I think a lot of you were sick of. Maybe you're happy about this. What happened to Zealantis? Zealantis Lethal is gone. People are no longer, they don't have room. It's out of the extra deck. We have Diablo setting up the original Sinful, Snake-Eyed Diablo equipping the Oak. We almost have enough. We are going to be adding the Hollowed Azmina. Hollowed Azmina should then give us enough. Only now do we now have enough. Now we could go to the battle phase, negate Spirit of Yubel, lose 800 attack. We need 8. This has to be 8,800. And then we're good. But Sniffus going beyond 88. Maybe you're accounting for a Bestial also. So if you negate the Spirit of Yubel, the Chain of Bestial, you can't negate again. You'd have to lose your Sylvia. I guess we still got it. Yeah, people are playing Bestials. And this is a good thing that you all should know. It's not just, all right, if it's not a Yubel deck, I could just go for game. The Bestial usage is skyrocketing to help counter Azmina and Fiendsmith. Do your best play possible. Let them surrender. Let's keep on going. Get the Sylvia. Think about this. Think about what we just accomplished here. We can now negate a Bestial with Sylvia, negate the Spirit of Yubel with Apollo, and still have 8,000 damage where otherwise we did not have it. And we're still cooking. Still go. Maybe they have 2 Bestials. I guess. All right. Negate. From 12,000 damage, we now drop down to 11,000. And then if they were to add a Bestial to the same chain as the Apollo, as it can't also negate the Bestial and the Spirit of Yubel in the same chain, we'd lose 1,900 damage, which would still be over 8,000. Thank you, Sniffus, for showcasing it. And I guess you could see why we don't even need Zealantis anymore. I guess it's redundant. We already have so much freaking damage. YouTube, and that was the top 16. We're now going to be advancing to the top 8 grand finale in the very next video. I'll see you there. Let's go.